Hey everybody, welcome back. We're gonna skip Luigi for now and go right into Peach's castle with Mario. Well, I guess Bowser has something to say about us going into that castle. It's okay though. We can handle him. We can definitely handle this wacky airship. Aw, it waved at us. That was really nice. Made me feel welcome. So anyway, this is quite the level. It takes that silly hand and, kind of extends it into a level of its own rather than just forcing Mario off the airship after he's defeated Baby Bowser. Yep, not too hard. All we gotta do is duck. Just duck in the right space, and that nasty old hand can't get you. You can get out of the way if you want, but sometimes you have to worry about it deciding to come down in another location. It can be a tricky little hand. Yep. I mean, it's just following us, but we're one step ahead. That hand can't get us. Yeah, seems like it's given up. Or maybe not. Yep. So, earlier in the game, I suspected that Bowser and his clan might be destructive to the environment, and I think we have our evidence. I mean, look at this. They are literally destroying the environment. But what can you do? Hey. That sure made it more difficult to get that coin, but hey, we're okay. Everything's fine. All we gotta do is just take full advantage of our flying squirrel suit. And that hand seems to have completely gotten the message. It's just gone for now. Hopefully we won't have to see it again. Yeah. I'm sure you remember this mechanic from New Super Mario Bros. Wii. It's back. Not sure what you do if you're using the Pro Controller. I guess they just map it to a button, but I'm using the gamepad, so I get to tilt back and forth. It works fine. I mean, I think it works a little bit better than the Wiimote because you have this larger controller, so I don't know, it feels more comfortable as you're kind of twisting it. You can use more subtle gestures to get control. I like it. It's not the best mechanic in the world, but I don't mind seeing it return. I mean, I never really minded all the waggle anyway. I mean, I mentioned before how I think the waggle jump mechanic is one of the best mechanics Nintendo ever did on the Wii. Because, you know, as a kid, we all jerked our controller in the air to try and get it to move. And yeah, you know, the waggle's not perfect. If I had finer control, maybe I wouldn't have taken that hit, but maybe I would have. It was a tight little space anyway, so I'm not gonna blame the controls, I'm not gonna blame myself, I'm just gonna blame everyone. And hey, we got that power up just in time. Otherwise, we might have had to come back to this level, but that's 3 coins for us. None for Bowser. Hey, it's these little wrench jerks. Anyway, pretty much done. Although the game is about to play a nasty little trick on us. Yep. It kind of forced that power up on us, but what can you do? As you can see, it would be much more useful to have the squirrel suit here, but it's not like we'd really need it. I mean, we can handle Baby Bowser, or Bowser Jr., whatever he's called. So, yeah, he has a reason to pose. He has a reason to show off. We kind of screwed up. And then we got the rough end of his pattern by having that arm get punched in a way where we couldn't climb up it. But that's okay. We'll just come back. Yeah, Mario doesn't give up. He's got a lot of heart. Oh man, we missed that jump too. But, it's okay. Everything's fine. Maybe we can actually hit him with... No, we can't do that. Anyway. This is what you do. If you can't get him on when he's lower to the ground, you just climb up his boxing gloves. Climb up his boxing gloves and just give him a nice hit. Just watch out for his bob-ombs. It's nothing too tough. He changes it up, throws a second punch, and we once again get hit by his bob-ombs. It's okay though. It's okay. It's not like we're gonna screw this up. Oh. Well, luckily the level is really generous with the mid-flag. It drops you off right before the boss fight, and what kind of screwed us over before is gonna help us out. Yep. We can now take 2 hits, and based on our previous performance, looks like we could really use that hit. So, let's do this the right way. Let's call that first encounter a demo. We'll call it showing off the boss's pattern. Because when you play like a sane person, you use the Fire Flower to take out the bob-ombs, and then you just jump on Bowser Jr. as he's charging you. See? Like this. Yeah, nothing too hard. See, he keeps increasing his bob-ombs like he did before. He's got his gloves stuck there, unfortunately. Once again, we kind of got a bit unlucky there, but that's fine. That's fine. We'll get another chance to get up there. Just gotta wait for some more bob-ombs to be thrown. It's not a speed run. We're enjoying the game. We're enjoying our time with it. We don't want to rush through it. And we do want to get hit by a bob-omb every time we climb up there, because that's just our tradition. That's just the thing we do. Uh-oh. Luckily Mario doesn't take any fall damage. He's okay. And that little jerk is still alive, and uh-oh. That big hand is back. Now, I mean, last time I kind of postulated that when it knocked into Mario, it should really do some damage. Or, you know, what exactly was the efficacy of that? And it looks like this time it really did do some damage. Looks like Bowser really screwed himself over. I actually really like that touch. I like that they did something with the airship. It's something I really like in Mario World, how the airship is sunken right at the entrance to the Valley of Bowser. It ties things together. I mean, this isn't tying games together, but it's, you know, just taking something we beat and adding it to the world map. It's nice. I will say that I'm suspicious about that little bridge. I don't think Bowser would have something, you know, like that constructed. So either Peach has some people out there making nice white marble arches for Mario to walk down, or Bowser's changed up his aesthetic. Anyway, Meteor Moat. I don't have a lot of complaints about this game, but this world does feel very samey. It does do a couple new things, but for the most part, it feels like it's just taking the mechanics that we associate with the new Super Mario Bros. Games, at least with the Bowser mechanics, and it just recycles them. I mean, we've seen meteors falling from the sky in Mario Wii. We've seen this all before, but hey, you know, it's a mechanic that I honestly really liked. I thought the Mario Wii level was one of the more challenging ones, especially in 4-player. When you have 4 players and meteors falling from the sky, there's very few places for anyone to hide. It's one of those levels where people just can't hide in bubbles because that one player who's left could very well just end up dead. So, you know, it's not an unwelcome thing to see, but when it's combined with the rest of the mechanics we see, the rest of the gimmicks we see in this world, you know, a little disappointing there's so many retries. But hey, you know, lava, meteors, they're just kind of Bowser's thing now. It's what he's into. I'm not gonna judge him. If that's gonna be his fetish, that's gonna be his fetish. And we foolishly took damage there that we really didn't have to. It's okay. We can just get through the world, or get through the level. And once again, shout out to the background art. Looks really nice. Just another thing another example of why I love the graphics of this game, at least certain aspects of the graphics. So, it'd be nice to get that coin, but I think since we're Tiny Mario, we should just get going to the end of the level. Just get a beat. Up there is the hidden exit, the secret exit, the not this way exit. We'll get it in the bonus video though. Don't worry. It skips a level, so given how few levels there actually are in Peach's Castle, well, it's probably good that, you know, we just do this. Anyway. Fire Flower. It's pretty useful here. You'll see why in a second. It's not super, or it's not like broken compared to the power-up they're gonna give us, the Ice Flower, because you'll see that there is a downside to using the Fire Flower, but I think it's overall a little bit more useful, and we just screwed up, but it's okay. So, we've seen this mechanic before. Too many things get on the raft and, well, it won't move. And yes, it's counting coins as something on the raft, so we need to clear them all off before we can go anywhere. That's the one downside to the Fire Flower, but I just feel like it clears things off a little bit quicker than the Ice Flower. Even though with the Ice Flower you can pick up the guy you've frozen and knock everything else off. I don't know. It just feels a little bit easier with the Fire Flower. Hey, Skinny Blarg. Glad to see you lost some weight. Anyway, nothing really up there besides coins, but yeah, coins are always welcome. We're not gonna spit in the face of coins. And the Tiny Goombas are back, and I love the Tiny Goombas. Actually, it's probably easier to just do what I just did there instead of using the Fire Flower. Just spin up and down. Spin, 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 and you'll just kill the Tiny Goombas instead of turning them into coins. They're pretty adorable though. Big fan of that enemy. And here, you might be tempted to use the P-switch, but you're better off not. And hey Blarg, if you can avoid using it, you'll avoid having a million Tiny Goombas fall on your raft. And is it me, or is it really weird to see Monty Moles in Bowser's domain, in the final world? It just seems like something that they're not really supposed to be in. It seems like they should be in, you know, just in the first, I don't know. They should be in a nicer area than this. I mean, look at this. It's all this lava. It's terrible. They're one of my favorite enemies. The way you can kind of make them dance around as they try and get at Mario from above, but you know, because they're homing in on him, you can just make him run back and forth. I don't know. Find them very charming, very funny, and I hate to think of them falling in lava. But it's okay. We're done. We missed one coin, but we'll be back for it. We know where it is. We know how to get it. We won't make a fool of ourselves the second time. Rising tides of lava. Again, something we've seen a couple times, but it's cool. We'll do it again. It does add something in these giant buzzy beetles. God, I hope that's a buzzy beetle. If I got the name... Oh. That's an embarrassing death. But it's okay. You know, we're gonna die. It's the final world. Guess it's better to take embarrassing deaths than to, you know, struggle on the actual challenging parts. Because, you know, if we're flying through the challenging portions of the world, you know, we're looking like a master of this game rather than someone who struggles to remember basic enemy names. Yeah, that's something you might not expect. Might not expect to actually be able to damage them. Can trip you up here and there, can trick you, but it's okay. This is also a great little mechanic for this particular gimmick because it adds a lot of tension. You don't want to go too far down. You might hurt yourself, might kill yourself. So, big fan of that. Anyway, we lucked out with that superstar. We can kind of just rush through this area, and it's always nice to rush. But maybe we shouldn't go too fast because there's something underneath this area. If we take the bottom path, we can get a painful death. Huh. Okay, well, let's continue. We died in an actual challenging portion of the level. I mean, you have to go through that pretty quickly, otherwise you're gonna be toast. So let's, you know, just chalk that up to, you know, just the nature of the game. The more difficult parts of the game are gonna cause us to die here and there. So. Yeah, I didn't want to take a hit from the Koopa Troopa, so I just died. That was, really? Well, let's just leave this all in. Let's leave this all in and show, that we're bad at the game. That we're just not very good. We've gotten this far, and it's finally been exposed that we're pretty terrible at Mario. Anyway, let's just continue. We've gotta get through this level and hopefully get that second star coin we slipped up on and not get intimidated by this Koopa Troopa. He didn't really yield anything good for us, but that's okay. It's not his job. His job is to defend Bowser's domains. Our job is to get power-ups with his defense. So, let's just keep going, and let's get that second star coin. There we go. And the midpoint, just in case we embarrass ourselves again. But the rest of this level isn't too tough. Makes good use of the mushroom spring platforms, whatever you want to call them. The mushroom screw platforms? I guess, yeah, they're screws. So, here we go. Just keep working on them. Just wait. Get the timing right. And, hey, bet there's something good in here. We should get it. But the lava's probably going to pop right up in a second, so let's just wait it out. Wait it out and get a mushroom. Not too bad. We could use that, even though, you know, lava isn't really likely to make this mushroom too useful, but, you know, you might run into an enemy. Might be a spiky skeleton here and there. Might be a Koopa Troopa we get intimidated by. You never know. Or maybe that guy. That's got to be pretty challenging if you accidentally jump on him when he's not floating in lava and just are left with that bouncing back and forth, and you just have to hope it ends up in a good spot to jump into the pipe. Or maybe it's not tough. It's not like it can bounce too far. So, 2 levels down, plus an airship, and 2 to go. Yeah, it's a pretty short world, but that's okay. The levels are rather long. And then there is that extra bonus level, which is fun. I mean, not that there aren't bonus levels in other worlds, there are. So, once again, we've seen this gimmick before. It's fine. I mean, this one's just adding to the difficulty. Now we can only get one thing on there before we're screwed. That's fine. Once again, we're controlling it with the gyro. Again, it's not the best controlling thing in the world, not the worst. Makes sense to use it this way, and it doesn't really make any sense to screw up that particular way. I mean, how do you let a Goomba fall on your head? Mario's supposed to fall on Goomba's heads, not the other way around. I'm not a big fan of irony, so it's not appreciated, game. And yeah, we're supposed to go that way to get the coin. We probably could have gotten it anyway, given we took that hit, but, well, whatever. As we've learned, I'm not very good. I'm actually terrible. It's okay, though. I've accepted my lot in life. And hey, we got our power up back, so we're on the right track again. We're back in the game, and we've just got to watch out for coins and bob-ombs. Imagine a world where coins are once again your enemy. It's just terrible. This is the kind of anti-capitalistic tripe that Bowser's spewing, making us think that coins, that money is the enemy. Gold coins especially. I bet they're pure strain gold too. Uh-oh. That was a close one. Just keep going. This platform will take us up there. It'll get us away from that nasty lava. Now, I mean, when lava's in a volcano, it's magma. What about when lava's in a castle? Is it still magma? I don't know. I'm kind of curious. Can any volcanologists let me know? Any castleologists? Castlepedia? Castleton snobs? Any Castleton snobs out there? Just tell me, what do you call molten rock when it's inside a castle? Let's just keep going though. Keep going, avoiding those electric Bowser things, and get up here to the end of the level. Oh. That Bob-omb was there for us to get an extra life, and we could have used an extra life, but we'll just take him for some points. Points are important too.
Oh yeah, Mario time!
Here we go. The final level.
What?
This is it. The final battle, actually. So should we think that this is the final time that Bowser and Mario will do battle? I mean, I guess we know that's not the case because Mario 3D World came out. And, I mean, we already knew that wasn't the case because there's no way in heck that Nintendo's gonna, you know, stop the rivalry. There's no way that Bowser's gonna give up the ghost. So, these two eternal rivals will forever be going at it. Anyway, I've complained a little bit about, reused mechanics, and, well, this level does a really good job in doing something new. A lot of people don't like Bowser Jr. I love him. I think he's wacky and mischievous, and I love the Koopa car, the clown car, and I'm glad that that all gets used in a fun way. It, you know, adds some challenge to the platforming portion of the level, and you'll see how it works in a bit later. I also really like these strange bone platforms. You know, can't say I've ever seen a bone work that way, but whatever. Maybe that's just how bones work and I didn't know. You know, I won't claim to know everything about bones. So, you just gotta watch out for him. He'll drive you into lava, he'll make things disappear, but luckily, they'll pop back up. Sometimes it actually can be a little bit useful because it'll help with your timing on a particular platform. Like right here. We gotta get that coin. And with it just appearing at the bottom, we know exactly where it'll be when we time our wall jump. So thanks, Bowser Jr. You helped us out. And we're back up to 99 lives. It's time. It's time to do this. It's time to take on Bowser. And let's just show him that we give him no respect. That he's nothing to us. We're not gonna wait behind platforms for his fireballs to go away. We're just gonna run through them. And now, we're gonna beat him with fireballs too. Because they're his weapon, and we're turning it on him. We've absorbed his abilities, made them our own. Yeah, you don't stand a chance, Bowser. We could easily run under you, but you're done. And I gotta say, I know that this is iconic and all, but at this point we all know that Bowser's gonna be revived, that he's gonna be gigantic, or maybe a skeleton, or maybe a giant skeleton, and that we're gonna have to fight him again. I will say that Kamek and Bowser Jr. interacting that way kind of warms my heart a little bit, and I'm sorry that I complained about what the game was doing. Game, that was adorable. Anyway, I do really like the setting for the final battle. I think that the top of Peach's castle actually looks great. It, you know, it feels more, I don't know. It feels more something than the rest of the game's platforms that we're standing on. It feels like a real environment rather than just random colored platforms that are in front of cool-looking backdrops. So, check this out. It's Giant Bowser, but also Bowser Jr. I love this boss fight. It's a great boss fight. It has one of my favorite quick kills in the history of video game bosses. Well, here's how you attack Bowser. You knock Bowser Jr. out of the Koopa Clown car, and then you use it to stomp on his head. So they took one of the gimmicks in the platforming part of the level and turned it into the way you attack the boss. And yes, you can get back in the car repeatedly. And it gives you a free hit from Bowser. But more importantly, if you can beat Bowser Jr. back into it, you can get right on top of Bowser, hit him again. And we're going to do it a third time. This time we're actually going to avoid the giant shell. And ow. Imagine being hit by your dad that way. That's kind of cool. But it's all over. I almost hate to rush that fight, but I think the way you can get the quick kill is one just really entertaining. Because you're kind of racing Bowser Jr. to get there, battling him, and then you've got to avoid Bowser in the air. It actually makes it a little bit more challenging to have to avoid him in the clown car than to avoid him on the ground. So, I don't know, it feels really rewarding when you kill him. It feels like you've accomplished something. Unlike the Koopa Kids, where you just stand kind of near where they're going to pop up and jump on them as they come out of their shell. That's not really rewarding, that's just kind of cheap. And you know what else is rewarding? Rescuing the princess.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we did it.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Mario's happy, and I hope you're happy too.
What?
And I know I'm happy. Everything is back to normal. Order is restored. And hey, the airship's back. This is why, if you have a giant hand, you don't just let it punch around willy-nilly. Look at that jump. I wish Bowser got that kind of air in Smash Brothers. Ooh, this doesn't look good. Those kind of look like twin towers. But here we go. All the Koopa kids, they're heading out. The clown car saves the day. Mario saves the day, and Luigi's there. Luigi's there too. He'll get his day in the sun soon, though. Don't worry. We may have skipped his World 7 to beat the game a little early. Anyway, here's why we wanted to beat the game early. This is one of the most important credit games in the history of video games because it's developed into a cult following. Or it's developed a cult following. There are people out there competing to get the single and multiplayer world records. You wouldn't believe how popular this game is. But we're just doing it for fun. We're not a competitive New Super Mario Bros. U credit game player. We're just having fun, enjoying it. There's a lot of strategy involved in competitive credit gaming. At first, people just realized that you could gain a competitive advantage by using the other characters as jump pads. If, of course, you were playing a one-player game. And most serious coin credit game gamers do play one player. There's a few people who swear by 4-player, but frankly, this game doesn't have online multiplayer, so it's not as feasible for real, serious world record attempts to just get done. Because you can't do it with inferior competition. You need 4 world-class coin credit game gamers. Otherwise, you're just a fraud. But luckily, there's an international sanctioning body that determines whether or not you had proper competition. Thankfully, the New Super Mario Bros. U Coin Credit Game Commission exists. Otherwise, we would have repeated frauds being perpetrated on the gaming public, like happened in November of 2013. I'm not even going to go into that. But at first, it just seemed like using the other characters as platforms was the best way to get around. And then a certain person named ToadGamer69, I know what you're thinking, nice. He discovered that if you carried around the other characters, you basically doubled your hitbox for picking up coins. Became an incredibly useful technique that people were just kind of shocked that they hadn't thought of before. It was thought that carrying a character around would actually make it more difficult to pick up coins. But luckily, ToadGamer69 completely revolutionized the coin credit gaming scene. The competitive coin credit gaming scene, of course. The casual coin credit gaming scene didn't really care. I mean, they'll pick up toads and chuck them here and there. They'll have fun. They'll maybe pick up each character like I'm doing to make sure everyone gets in on the fun. But they don't really care what makes for better coin grabbing. They're just doing it for fun. They're doing it to relax, to unwind, maybe to have some fun with their friends. Maybe to make sure they know every single person involved in the making of this game. What do you think? Do you like this style of credit game where you're picking up coins? Or do you like it where you're crushing through blocks? Blocks made up of the letters of the developers? Do you like that? Which do you like more? And we're done.
Yeah, I'm a winner.
418 coins. A respectable score, although nowhere near the world record. But that's okay. That's okay. Going after those kind of world records in the coin credit gaming scene, the competitive coin game credit scene. Yeah, my system isn't hooked up to Wi-Fi right now, so I can't do anything with Miiverse. Sorry for wasting your time. Anyway, we're done. At least with the campaign. We'll be back for lots of other things. The secret island, it's, it's something, but we'll be back mostly for this. Superstar Road. So, let's just take a look at the secret island. It basically acts as the game's stats page. It's kind of neat. Takes a lot of things into account. If you're a sabermetrically inclined Mario player, you'll be poring over these stats. And we'll probably get to the boost minigame at some point. Look at all those Goombas. Actually, not that many Goombas, considering we beat the whole game. But, hey. We'll have to catch the rest of those Nabbits. And, anyway, I'll see you guys later for Superstar Road and Luigi.